Good morning, friends. Meeting on the very other side of last lecture that we had. This time we'll be handling fundamental concepts of research. And in this run of things, we won't be going too deep into the concepts of research, but just get a introduction or a feel suitable for someone who has not a great exposure to research and research concepts. Uh, how do we speak about research, and in what way do we understand research? For example, you are walking towards your office and you meet a friend whom you knew in your school or college. So you are happy to see her and you say, Arey, kaisi hai tu? How are you? And such a nice dress, you're looking very good. She says, yeah, I'm fine. But on second thoughts, you said, is something wrong because you are, I feel. She says, yeah, yeah, yeah. I have not been feeling well, but just today, I'm feeling a little bit better. And she says, wow, you have a good intuitive insight. So he says, no, no, I just felt in my heart, so I asked you. So then you say, take care, and you leave. So the question is this research? Uh, Maybe not, or maybe yes. It depends on whom you ask. If research is inquiry in layman's term, then you can call this research, roadside research. But if you speak about research in a professional term, then this is not a research, because research is a systematic process, a logical process, a well thought about process which takes place in many different steps, and you have a very structured conclusion to this whole process. Immaterial if the process is small or very long, extended one. But still, a professional research involves a lot of steps which are logical and are systematic and lean towards a scientific way of thinking. But in the same example, if you were to, in that small conversation, if you were to realize that she is a heroine now and acting in films, and you are a reporter in a very big organization, a news organization, so then it triggers your interest that maybe you can write a storyline about her, or maybe you can coordinate with her and write her autobiography. So what do? Then you connect with her, you coordinate with her, and over a period of time you go on, having conversation with her, asking about her life, how she started, what is happening now, this, that. You also look at the newspaper cuttings for the last 10, 15 years since she has been, in this industry. You speak to people, you speak to her colleagues, you speak to the producers, and try to get a lot of insight. In the end, you file either a written report for publication of an article, or maybe you write a book for her. So in a sense, this could be termed as a kind of research, because you have gone through a process in a methodical way, and now you are publishing the results. So having said that, giving you a brief taste of what research can be and what research cannot be, and depends on who is talking about research, we will go and look into the formal ways of what research is really about. So first we will look into the definition, as to how do we technically, theoretically, professionally uh, define research. It is a systematic and methodical process of investigating issues, problems, and phenomena in the field of research. See, in that example already, I discussed with you to say it has to be systematic, it has to be methodical. So that is what is reflected in the definition. It involves analyzing, interpreting, and drawing conclusions that inform policy, practice, or theory. That means whatever data you collect through the process of research, you have to sit down, analyze what it talks to you, what does it say, does it make sense? Then you have to maybe put into different buckets and see that, okay, what does this say? What does that say? And based on your interpretation of those results, then maybe you can inform policy, or you can inform practice, or you can add to a theory. For example, if in a class, if you conduct a research to find out if a particular way of teaching is useful or not, and then at the end of your research you find that, yeah, the learning aptitude of the students increased, then it could inform a new practice, or maybe if someone goes deeper into that, it could come out as a new theory. Its primary purpose is to enhance understanding. Once again, when you are serious about an issue, you try to research it, learn about it, think deeper, analyze it, then definitely it enhances understanding, your understanding. Plus, when you publish it, it enhances the understanding of the other people around you. It solves the educational problems. Suppose in your class there is a lot of problem of aptitude and attitude. So you conduct a small research and find out maybe if the teacher attitude is a little bit this way or a little bit that way, then it can help the students to learn better. So it can solve the education problem. Maybe the class is unruly because of that. Now, after this new way of methodology of teaching, the class has become a little bit calmer, improves teaching and learning. So after having had a brief exposure on the definition, we will see, in general terms, what does educational research mean? Yeah, in logical and systematic and scientific, all we have said about it. But then, what does it really mean? Uh, uh, Once again, we will be repeating what's there in the definition, but to make it more clearer, it's a systematic, logical, and objective process of investigating. See, objective word is very important. Maybe this could be also a definition for all that it matters. Objective is very important, because we go back to that case of your friend, that heroine, and you are the reporter. Suppose in school you really did not like her because she was very hoity-toity, fashionable, and everyone was, grooming around her and all that, and you did not like all the showbazi she was doing. You were a studious student and so on. But now that she has become an heroine and you are in this process of writing a book, so suppose if you allow that negativity of your childhood days to affect you now, and you try to pick up subconsciously or consciously all the negative things, and that's the kind of report you are going to file, that will not be a very objective process. It will be a subjective process, subjected to your feeling. A good researcher keeps his or her feelings locked in a box, and looks at things as they are, and reports as it is, and concludes as it should be concluded. So the objective word is very important over here. Help generate new knowledge and validate existing theories. we already discussed in the definition part, involves critical thinking. See, if you go to that first example where you met your friend and you said, Casey, hey, how are you? And this and that, that doesn't involve any kind of critical thinking or, or reflection. You are just like, some kind of basic social inquiry. But in real technical research, it needs a lot of critical thinking as to, when we speak of research, speak of a problem and you are finding a solution. So then you have to think why, when, how, what, and then correlate it to some past experiences, the previous knowledge, and existing happenings. So that needs critical thinking. You cannot just gloss over things and say it's research. So data collection, and then after data collection you sit and do analysis. So that's what actual research involves. Anyway, just to let you know, there's a French word called research. So that search is it means to search, to and research means to find again. So basically, what research means is, already there is something out there, and you are trying to find it. Uh, Basically, it means find meaning into it. So we will move further, having done with the meaning. Now we'll look at the purpose. Every activity in life, whether it's in our personal life, whether it's in our social life, whether it's in our professional life, every activity has a purpose. People just don't get out of the house and walk aimlessly and then come back at home. Even those people who go for a walk, they go for a purpose, for health's sake or for whatever, for leisure. You just don't aimlessly do a lukagri around and come back. Some people may, but generally it's not like that. So even educational research has a purpose, because you see, it's a purposeful activity where you are systematically, logically, critically analyzing things, then you're collecting information, then you're trying to draw a conclusion. So it cannot be without purpose, otherwise all the resources will just go waste. So what is the purpose of education research? One is to discover facts. See, uh, we go back to those two examples, one about your friend and one about the class. So even regarding your friend, if you have to write a life story, you are discovering facts. Even regarding the class where the students were unruly and you are trying to find out a way how to calm them, so what you're doing is trying to discover facts. So interpret relationship. Once again, you're trying to interpret relationship when you're doing research. For example, the study results of the students in a particular class have gone down over the past few terms. Then you try to understand that the teacher is the same. Then what is the issue? So you may find the issue. So now you are connecting it either with the teacher or the students, or some other factor in the class of that teacher. I remember, I was doing some school inspections for a international school, and international schools, how they are about their style and about the system and about the processes they have, and all jagmag. But when I was going around the classes on the top floor, what I realized in the evening was the sunshine was directly shining on some metallic sheet covers that were put to cover the quadrangle inside the circle. So the sunlight was directly shining on it and it was reflecting in the class, and it was directly hitting the students' eyes and the face. So suddenly I thought this could not be a good environment to study because it is disturbing them so much. But the school had not paid so much attention to that. So I brought this up. So what happened is, I discovered a fact that this is happening and maybe it's affecting the students. So I put it in a report. Then they investigated part, and they realized that yeah, the students were not very happy about it, and it was a irritating factor. the teachers did not report about it because they thought that the management will not pay attention to such useless matter about sun, and because that's, they would have said, natural. So now what happens is, you interpret relationship about a situation eh, around the class and the results of the class. Verify knowledge. Now suppose there is a maybe preconceived knowledge, or maybe some research has been done to say that if you go to bed early and rise early, you fare better in the exams. So that is a knowledge. Maybe there is a theory. So now, if you try to research on this fact, because you have always been sleeping late and waking up late, but you have fared well. So you think that maybe this theory has no grounding. So when you do research and maybe find out that no, really, for most of the students to go to sleep early and wake up early, they fare better in the class. Then you are verifying the knowledge. Sometimes you can nullify of the knowledge also. It's not that every time the research will find that the past knowledge is true, because given the time frame, maybe in this century or in this decade, things have changed and the students have been better adaptable to remain awake in the night and watching Netflix movies along with their parents, and adjust well to their exam needs. So it helps uncover what is actually happening in classrooms. That's what we have discussed. Interpret relations between teaching methods, student motivation, learning outcomes. So see, I just gave an example about the psychological aspect of not sleeping early, and does it affect their student outcomes during examination. And verify knowledge by testing previously established ideas. Some theory is there. I give an example of the sleep theory, and whether it's really true. So when you check it, you verify knowledge, or you may nullify it, as I said. So we go further. Having said that, into now, we began with saying generally about research. Then we went into meaning. Then we went into we also spoke about definitions, purpose. But now we we will try to focus concretely as to ठीक है, we spoke about this and that, but in education, where is it actually applicable? Can, like, you can ask me, okay, sir, where is it applicable? You are giving examples of sleep and your friend who is a heroine and all that, but can you tell me in education, where is it? So this is where we are going to deal actually where it is going to applicable. The first place where it is applicable is curriculum and instruction. Now, with the NEP 2020, many schools are making some changes in the curriculum, changes in the instruction to, to be seen as people or institutions who are supporting the NEP 2020. Maybe they believe strongly, maybe not, but they would like to be seen. So after 3 years, you want to check whether all those changes, have they actually affected or made the learning conditions for the students better. So this is one area. Education psychology. We go back to that attitude where they try to see if teacher attitude affects the learning capacity or the learning environment of the students. Before, they were very unruly. After some change of attitude, maybe they have become calm. So this is one area where you can do the research where education is concerned. Assessment and evaluation. If you may not remember because maybe you are of this new millennial or Gen Z generation, but in the past there were 100 marks only for writing exams. Nothing was allowed. But over a period of time, maybe they did some research and found out that this is too much burden on the learner. So now they have a pattern of 60-40, where 60 marks are written exam, 40 marks are internal assessment. How did this come about? They would have researched on the assessment system, the evaluation system, and found out that this is a better way to make the burden of the learners less, also to kind of have a wholesome education. So education technology, this is also one field. Now you see everything is becoming digital. Everyone is speaking of digital India. So now you want to check out that, what are those apps that are being used, or the digital technology used in class. Is it helpful to the students, or the previously talk and talk method was useful? How well are they adopting to this, or is it becoming a hindrance to some of the students? Some may, adapt it very well, to it very well, because their home environment has been like that since their childhood, and some would not adapt to it very well because their home environment was not that. So research in those areas will help you to understand. So educational technology is one of the areas where educational research is very helpful. Policy and administration, going back to the NEP 2020. So this was a new education policy, but they just do not sit one night and say, okay, we have to do this. The education system must have done a lot of research, or must have gone through previous research as to, or must have seen some research abroad, maybe Finland and Netherlands, where they say the education system is of very high standard, and the standard of living is also very high. So all the research must have some input in the thought process of the NEP 2020. So research also helps in policy and administration. So we have so far discussed this part. Maybe we will go into a little bit deeply into what it really says. Investigating teaching methods, curriculum design, you see. And what is the example? Studying the effectiveness of project-based learning in science classes. I give you a different example. This could be a second example. So if you are using project-based learning, so now when I spoke about that 60-40 system, 40 marks is assessment is about internal assessment. So this project-based learning could be a part of that assessment system. So you want to find out that, is it useful or no? Education psychology, exploring student behavior, motivation, cognitive, not just student, teachers behavior also. We spoke about that attitude problem. Then researching the impact of self-efficacy on student performance. Again, it's a different example than what I give. This is a second example that, if the students, like now Modi ji is saying Atmanirbhar Bharat. So if the students are self-driven, and they are able to manage things well, or you allow them to manage things well, then does it affect their performance at the end of the day? So that could be also one field of your educational study, education psychology. We spoke about assessment and evaluation, developing and analyzing tool to measure learning outcomes. Before, the assessment was just 100% of the written exam. Now they have 60-40. So some tools, some learning has been done where they found out that that this is a better system suited to maybe lessen the burden of the students. Example is designing a standardized test to evaluate reading comprehension and skills. Suppose if you want to test the reading comprehension, then you have a certain kind of list where you say, okay, if you do all this, that's how you test the reading comprehension. So that comes out of research. It's not that you just sit one day and say that, okay, this is what I am doing. Educational technology, studying the integration and impact of digital learning tools. So the example is investigating the effect of gamified learning apps on student engagement. So you suppose if you are using digital apps, then you cannot just say, oh, they are enjoying, so they must be liking it. You have to see whether it has real impact on their learning and their learning outcome. So educational research helps you to be on a firmer ground to say whether it's useful or not. Policy and administration, I give an example, NEP 2020. What it says here is examining education policies, school management, and leadership effectiveness. Here the example, researching the impact of decentralized school governance on academic performance. Same thing, for example, right now, Mumbai University or UGC has allowed some well-known institution with solid performance, good management, and a lot of history to declare themselves as universities and conduct courses the way they want. For example, St. Xavier's Institute, Somaiya University, and so on. So what is happening right now is they have decentralized. So you want to find out whether these kind of things have they really improved education in these institutes, in these new universities. So education research, this is one of the field where education research comes in. So now having said that, we have come to end of our session for today, and where we touched upon generally what it means, how it is defined, and the purpose of educational research. Then from general purpose, we tried to jump to a solid areas where education research is useful. So having said that, we will say goodbye for now. I hope you have enjoyed this process of learning and you have some basic idea of research now. Know that not too deep. In the next time, on the other side, when we meet, we will go into the types of research, and there are many ways of classifying research. So how research is clarified. So once you get exposed to that concepts, you will understand research in a much better way than what you are at this position as of today. So see you on the other side. Goodbye and thank you.